What's up, guys? Welcome back to Faith Family Homestead. That was winter. It is actually the day after the storm, and I'm going to take a looky look outside into the hoop house and the garden. I did see that I've already walked inside the hoop house, so I know everything in there is fine. Obviously it was closed and protected, but inside the garden I did see some stuff that I need to tend to, so I'm gonna take you guys along with me today and we'll see what's going on. So I actually took a trip to Tractor Supply this morning because yesterday during the storm, the winds were so strong that it did rip up a lot of, actually all of our tarps. Well, no, not all. It only didn't rip up one. It blew down that shed right there, or blew over, I should say. No, winter, you're not coming in. But like I was saying, it blew over a lot of, that felt puffy right there. What is this? It blew over the duck house right there. It like completely like moved it from where it was at. It was completely like on the other side of the area. It blew over. It didn't rip the duck roof off, but it did rip the goats' tarps. They had two tarps. It ripped that off. It ripped another area where we had the ducks at in a small area. It ripped that off. It ripped the chicken coop. We had a hoop coop. It ripped that off. So it just was like really, really bad. So I did go to Tractor Supply this morning and get some what is it called, tarps to replace it. And as I was there, the lady was like, oh, you better hold off on, she's like, I need some tarps too. Like the storm did rip my tarps as well. She was like, but you might want to wait on replacing it because there's another storm coming on Friday. Which I did look it up. I had no idea that there was another storm coming on Friday. But as I was coming back from Tractor Supply, I saw that it basically ripped up this whole plastic off of all of these beds, basically. I'm just looking around. Yeah, let's move that one. But the good thing is that there's not, let's see, I do see some white. It did its job is what I'm trying to say. I do see some like white fuzzy weeds that are trying to grow back, and there's a potato actually right there and right there, and I think I actually see one somewhere there. But there's some bulbs here trying to sprout, and I don't know if that would be garlic or if that's the lily. But you can see the only bed that completely stayed was this one. These three were held down. Four were held down by, actually that one had a cattle panel, and the cattle panel completely blew it off. I was gonna say that it was just only the areas that the plastic was held down by T-post and not the cattle panels, but this bed right here had a cattle panel and it completely blew off. But one spot that had the cattle panel stayed on, so I guess it just depended on the direction of the wind. But I can see underneath each of the beds that there are weeds trying to grow, but they're white. So I'm gonna go ahead, put the plastic back on them, and this time instead of putting T-post, I'm gonna try and put cattle panel. I don't know if I can do this by myself. My girls are in the house, so I might need to enlist their help if I can't get the cattle panel to lay completely on the beds by myself. But I'm gonna get them, the first thing I need to do out here is get them back covered. Okay, I was able to get 1, 2, 3 cattle panels on beds. I didn't get cattle panels on the last 2 beds, but I did put T-posts down because I'm running out of time. My daughter has a doctor's appointment today and I have to leave in about 25 minutes. So I'm gonna have to ask my son if he'll finish putting those last 2 cattle panels down for me. But I'm glad I got them down, or got the beds covered at least. Although there's nothing growing in the garden and it's completely cleared, it's just giving me so much hope for the spring and me seed starting all of the things that I'm seed starting, because it's like a complete blank slate. Even when I was putting the plastic back over those beds, I was just thinking, like, this is going, like, putting the tarps and putting the work in now is saving me in the springtime, when the spring actually comes and I'm too busy to get the things done that need to be done before I get those beds planted, like weeding. If I would have never covered those beds, they would have been covered in weeds again. And so I'm glad that we got to weed them and put down that black plastic, and I can see it's working. It's starving the weeds of light, which is exactly what I wanted. And hopefully by leaving them down for, we're at the beginning of January, February, March, I'm not planning on planting in those until probably April. So probably 2 more months, so 8 more weeks. And as the sun gets hotter, because right now it's been really cool, like the sun is out now, but we had like a whole 2-3 weeks with just cloudy weather, and so it wasn't heating up the black plastic enough to kill those weeds. But I'm hoping that 2 more months, 8 more weeks of that black plastic being down and the sun beaming on it will be able to kill those weeds, and when I pull it up, it not be any weeds. And I am gonna actually put down landscape fabric on those beds, but I would prefer not to put, I would prefer to put landscape fabric down on a clean slate bed and then plant in them. So yeah, we shall see about that. But right now, walking around looking at the garden, it looks really, really good. So as you can see, the hoop house, there's nothing going on in here, but this broccoli is getting bigger head, and I think I'm actually going to end up, I was hoping it would get way bigger, but I think the broccoli is already starting to separate and go to seed. When it separates, broccoli is already, this is already a flower that we're harvesting, but when it starts to separate, yeah, that doesn't feel super tight together. Neither is that one. So I'm gonna have to end up coming in here. It does look like as big as it will get. But just in that little bit of time since we harvested our first snapdragons, I've come back in here. Well, I'm in here right now. I walked in here earlier and there's a bunch more snapdragons. Why did I say snapdragons? Sugar snap peas. And there's a bunch more that's ready down this way. I planted all of the beds this thick. Now only this bed really germinated that thick. I wish these other 2 beds had germinated that thick, because every time I walk in here, this just makes me so happy. Especially when I find sugar snap peas. I think I will bring 2 in for my girls. Oops, I just broke that one. I'll grab this one too. So I'll bring these in to my girls and see, they haven't had any sugar snap peas this season, and see if they still, last year they really, I dropped that one. Last year they really enjoyed sugar snap peas, and I'll see if they're still, I got what, 5? See if they still like them. I opened the hoop house today, even though it's only, I think, 45 or 50 degrees. Where yesterday, even though it was 70, I left it closed because I was afraid if I left the door open that the wind, since it was going up to 40 miles an hour, would have ripped off the hinges off of the hoop house. And then it was really, really cloudy. So I left the hoop house closed all day yesterday, but I made sure I got up today and opened it. Oh, you braided all her hair.
And not the back of it.
Not the back? Do you like sugar snap peas?
Mm-hmm.
See. You still like it?
Mm-hmm.
Now you want one? You still don't feel good? Naya, you want to try one? Try a small one. Do you still like sugar snap peas?
Yes.
What do you think now? Did you bite it?
Yes.
What do you think? It tastes what?
It tastes like green.
Tastes like green?
Yes.
What does green taste like? Juice?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What do you think, Naya? Still like it?
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Nia? You still like it? Okay, ending the video how we started the video, with winter in my face. So, glad we checked on everything. Have to make it to my daughter's doctor appointment, and we have some other stuff we got to do today. Aiden has baseball practice. No, he doesn't. Does he? I don't know. But we will have to see you guys on my next video when we're starting some more seeds. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.